Now, why does that event need somebody else, a mediator, in the room? Let's talk about that. I want to ask you all, if you would, to visualize for me, in fact, close your eyes. Visualize for me the last dispute that you were personally involved in. It may have been leaving the house this morning, it may have been last night or yesterday at work, but the last one you were involved in. And here's what I want to ask you. You can open your eyes now. What behaviors were going on in that room where if I were to look in and poke my head in, I would have seen and known that there was a dispute, a conflict? What was going on physically, behavior-wise? Just shout it out. Emotion. How would I see the emotion? Defensive body language? Yeah, what else?
Avoidance.
Avoidance, maybe, yeah.
Raised voices.
Raised voices, absolutely. What else?
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Yes. Some of it would not appear in comic strips without asterisks and. All right. What else? Drama and posturing, sure. Name calling? You're such a. What about extremes? You always do this. You never do, right? Because all that stuff, you know, Garth Brooks wrote a great song. We bury the hatchet and leave the handle sticking out. Just for this time, right? All right, so all that's going on. Not our best behavior, right? But as a society, is it fair to say that that's how we are when we're in conflict? We raise our voices, we name call, we fold our arms, we don't. How much listening was going on? Yeah. If we were to take a balance between inquiry and advocacy, what percentage of inquiry would we really have in that discussion? No. Yeah, because that would require us to stop and listen to the answer, right? Unless it was a rhetorical question. You don't really expect me to believe that, do you? All right. So now let me ask you this. If we can agree for a moment that that's kind of how we look as a society when we're in conflict, what would happen if I walked into your conflict, not as a mediator, but just as a guy? And I come walking into the middle of this conflict with the angry voices and the folded body posture and the finger pointing and all that stuff going on. What would happen generally to most of those behaviors? It'd stop? Come back to normal quickly? Is that, yeah?
Or maybe just lessen.
Yeah, or lessen some, yeah. Why is that? Let me get this straight. You were just face to face, nose to nose with somebody, arguing, fighting, pointing fingers, calling names, raising your voice, being completely inappropriate in every imaginable way. I walk in, and this is, by the way, somebody who you work with or somebody who you love or somebody who's a friend. I walk in, complete and total stranger you just met an hour ago. And all of a sudden, for me, or because of my presence, all these behaviors diminish or go away. Why is that? I think we give ourselves permission to treat the people we love and the people that we work with and see every day with less respect because why? Why?
Because we're familiar with them.
We're familiar with them, yeah. They give us an inherent permission of some kind, right? They'll let us get away with it. I can apologize for it later and it'll be okay. Maybe, if I apologize. Okay, so now, let's take it a step further. I've walked into your conflict, but rather than just being a stranger, I'm a mediator. What could I do, what could I bring that might help? Neutrality. Yeah, if I don't have a stake in the outcome of either side, that's a good thing, right? What else could I bring that would help you in your conflict? Say again? Listening, yeah. Because we already decided there wasn't much of that going on before I got there. So I can make each of you feel heard. And actually, if you two are the ones having the conflict, Tom can tell me his side. And if I can referee and keep Dennis quiet for just a moment for Tom to finish telling me his side, guess who else has to listen to it? right? And then I come over here and Dennis tells me his side, and Tom's got nothing better to do but to actually listen for the first time, to Dennis explain without being interrupted what he's really here for, what that's all about. So there are things we can bring that are of value to that settlement discussion that don't necessarily happen if we're not there.